friends and family and do it all again the next day. And so in my mind, I think part of the reason why, in my opinion, in my case, right, there is a struggle of not knowing when to rest versus guilting during times of rest versus like, I should be XYZ. Nothing, regardless, there will always be people who feel that we should be happy for the things that we have, and we should to an extent, right? It's okay to be happy for your now, regardless of what it looks like. But take this time to feed into your soul, feed into your spirit, because your work is necessary, your joy is necessary. There is a life outside of the one that we're living, unless you are living your best life. And if you are, please send me a message. Let me know what it looks like, what it feels like. I think we need more stories like those. Not just, oh, I'm making, XYZ amount of money, but like, are you filled with joy when you wake up? Even when you're working hard, is it fulfilling? Is there rest in between all of the hard work? Is there enough space for you to exist in all of the things that you do in your day to day? I think part of my struggle has been equating value and output, self-value with what I put out, right? And what it does is it stagnates. Having to overexert and do all of this stuff doesn't always. It takes time for those things to be harvested, one, but it's also like not as necessary as I believe it. And I know I'm like all over the place, but just I'm musing, right? And overall, what I wish to say is there are days that we struggle, and there are days that maybe there are some things we can do to change some of those struggles. Not all of it, right, can be whisked away or taken care of without additional help. Get it. Normalize ease into your life. Normalize being supported, getting support. Normalize sharing instead of taking and giving in the spaces that feed you, right? It's okay to take a step back, because sometimes it brings you forward. It's okay to shut your computer off, disconnect, as long as you're taking care of your basics. Because we always think that, not always and not we, but when I say we, I'm talking about me. I tend to believe that sometimes the work is not being heard by anybody. That I'm screaming into a void or writing into a void or what have you. That all of this is just for nothing. And then something happens and it's like, hey girl, we're watching. Be patient. the timeline is not exactly yours, because time, as we have learned, does not exist, because we are in a whole new year and I'm still like, what? Um, what if, regardless of time, we built and extended ourselves? I'm thinking of like how flowers kind of open up and how um, plants, after being hydrated, like expand themselves lushly, right? What if we did that? What if we expanded ourselves lushly and softly and slowly into the spaces we truly flourish in and exist in? What would that do? A lot of, oh, and that's funny. This goes hand in hand with the astrology vixen's video in regards to Jupiter going into Pisces. And it doesn't mean that living a life that you've always wanted to live will eliminate any struggles with your mental well-being, right? Those are two separate ideas. But my biggest thought is like, what if you lived a life that you like really wanted to live? Unhinged, no whatever, societal whatever's, whatever the restriction is. My computer is being loud. What would that look like? Other random ideas about, maybe it's a tip for mental well-being. When you have been feeling frumpy this whole time, like you haven't fixed yourself or anything, for me, uh, I tend to, on Fridays especially, those are my hectic-ish days. Well, after Wednesday it gets a little crazy, but work-wise, that's one of my hectic days. I take a shower after I'm done and I get dressed as if I'm gonna go out, because you never know what you will, bring in, right? Maybe someone will call you, or you'll call somebody and be like, "Hey, let's go for a walk, for coffee, for whatever," or just feel fine with the body that you have. Um, don't pick at yourself as harshly as the world does. It's a disservice to your higher self. Um, the word that wants to come out is like your deityness. I don't even know if that's a word, but it is today. To the magical spark that you are. I say that because quarantine weight is very real. And so, what is the point of fighting with myself when it's already hard enough? So, who knows? It's funny because I always say when I send a voice note to my therapist, like, I don't know if any of this makes sense. And and she tends to say, like, I get what you're saying. So hopefully my processing mentally all of the thoughts that I have in my mind make you feel a little less alone, at least, right? And so, y'all, I guess I'll go into like updates and church announcements and all that. Uh, what I got going on? I am now doing tarot readings. And that's really, really, I find it so enjoyable because it's not just, so the thing about tarot, let's talk about that. It's not divining, this is going to happen in the next 6 months to a T, X, Y, Z. No, it's a channeling of energy, but it's also its own kind of therapeutic catharsis. It's also a conversation with an objective party, because I don't know your life, right? So it's a vibe. I really enjoy those. It's been fulfilling to experience, and I look forward to so many more. And so that's update number 1. There's going to be a tarot party coming soon. So to anyone who is curious, stay tuned for that. Probably June, end of June is a vibe that we're kind of checking out, looking at. Come on. Editing some projects. I'm looking to expand. Overall, I'm looking to expand creatively in different spaces, and looking to free myself of certain restrictions in time. So, astrologically or energetic planetary vibe wise, I'll leave you with a question. What would it look like if you completely unleashed the magic that you have been playing small, carrying within, or have been curious about and haven't dived deeply into it, especially before this retrograde, because it's coming, y'all. With Jupiter in Pisces, what magic will you fully unleash? And for anyone who is uncomfortable, that magic is working. And how can that shape the future of residing where the abundance is at, the joy, the ease, and the luxury, whatever that means to you. As always, thank you for listening to my madness that I feel is rambling, but I appreciate you vibing with me. Trying to remember if I got anything else left. Next week, I'm definitely dropping an episode, which is a guest interview. I actually have another interview aiming for the end of this month. I also have pop-ups. Oh, that's what I forgot. I'm gonna put those in the show notes. Wow, I finally got the word. Show notes. If anyone is in South Florida for any of these dates, 23rd and 30th, check it out. We are here to create and cultivate safe spaces for Black and Brown folks, women of all of the walks of life, especially. So thank you for listening. I appreciate you for listening, and share your thoughts with me. Y'all be listening and not talking back. Like y'all could comment on the Instagram. You can reply on the Twitter. Send me a note. Tell me your thoughts. And definitely check out all of the show notes for different ways. If you're looking for a therapist, there are also low-cost options. And this is not a sponsor, but I stand my therapist. She has created a monthly membership that is pretty affordable. So it has art therapy, prompts, group stuff. So show notes it is. Have a wonderful week. Put your new moon intentions. Make joy happen abundantly for you. Faith it first. If we don't believe we're worthy of it, we ain't finna get it. Well, we might still get it because it's our birthright, but it might take a little bit longer. Anyway, don't forget that you are magic. No te olvides que eres magia. 𝐭𝐫𝐲𝐬 𝐀𝐲𝐬𝐿. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the show. Check out our Patreon, the website in the show notes. Rate, review, and subscribe or share with the homie. And don't forget that you are magic. No te olvides que eres magia. 𝐭𝐫𝐲𝐬
ou c'est magique.